Greetings from San Diego, California. This interactive multinational teleconference is reaching you live in English and Spanish through a unique and complex international telecommunications network via satellite, microwave, and cable. This program brings together distinguished institutions representing education, business, and government in more than a dozen countries in Americas and Europe. We would like to extend a special welcome to the Business Training Network and their network of sites throughout the United States, who are participating with us for the first time today. We look forward to hearing from all of you. During this video conference, we will examine the topic of workforce reconversion and the global market reinventing ourselves for new job opportunities. This is the first International Training Center video conference of the year 2003 series entitled Strategies for Competitive Performance. I'm Dr. Farhad Sabah, Professor of Educational Technology at San Diego State University and your moderator for today's program. The global workplace is creating new realities for organizations and communities around the world, increasing mobility, use of information technology, diversity, and multiculturalism are just a few of the dynamics that defines a new, highly competitive work environment. The growing challenge for today's employees and employers is to be capable of constantly, continuously adapting to these processes in order to benefit from opportunities as they arise in the marketplace. This translates into a need for constant and effective workforce reconversion and reinvention in terms of abilities, skills, attitudes, and productive competencies in general. This video conference will review these and other workplace issues crucial to productivity and global competitiveness. The invited speaker will review the challenges faced by organizations in the education, business, and government sectors that are working towards workforce reconversion at both the professional and technical levels. This program will also cover the benefits and costs of this process for both organizations and individuals, and the concept of productive reinvention as a lifelong training and human resource development effort. We welcome once again Mr. Charles Brass, past ITC speaker and the chairman of the Australian-based NGO, the Future of Work Foundation. The mission of this organization is to engage all Australians in creating a better future for work, a challenge Charles has embraced for the past 6 years. Charles's previous work experience includes that of entrepreneur, secondary school teacher, and 15 years in corporate human resources. The last 8 as director of a German-based multinational. He has been involved full-time with the Future of Work Foundation since 1995. Charles has spoken with audiences all around Australia and across the world and says he enjoys working with people who, like him, are struggling to put the profound changes in the workplace into some perspective for themselves. Along with this work experience, Charles holds many academic qualifications, including an honors science degree and an MBA. Welcome back, and thanks for being with us today. I'd like to begin asking you a question. As the pace of business and society in general increases and becomes more dynamic, we are forced to take more ownership of our jobs and careers than perhaps we were required to do before. Do you see opportunities here for companies, governmental organizations and educational institutions to capitalize on this increased effort by its employees?
Thank you for the question. Thanks for inviting me back again. And there is no doubt this is an exciting time for organisations of all kinds. For the first time, as employees are taking more responsibility for their careers, we're seeing organisations genuinely engage with all of their employees' attitudes, behaviours and who they all are. And this can only make for better organisations in any part of the world.
Thank you, and let's begin with Module 1.
I don't know about where you live, but in my country, if someone stands up to talk about globalisation, you can guarantee there will be a large and attentive audience. Some will come because they want to hear more about the ways in which economics and business are becoming more international. Some will come to learn how they and their businesses can take advantage of the huge global marketplace. And some will come to protest against what they see as a huge threat to local industry and culture and to the environment. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the word globalisation first appeared in an article about the Italian car industry in a 1959 edition of The Economist magazine. 40 years later, the word globalisation appears so often and in so many different ways that it's easy to believe that something new is taking place, which is fundamentally changing the dynamics of life on Earth. The truth is a little less dramatic. As Professor James Petrus from Binghamton University points out, foreign trade and overseas income was a greater percentage of world gross national product during the late 19th century than it is in the early 21st century. Nonetheless, globalisation is certainly having an impact on more and more parts of our lives. Though, as I hope to show in these presentations, not necessarily in ways which are immediately obvious. In recent years, as part of International Training Centre broadcasts, I have looked in great detail at the changing labour market. And for those interested in looking at more detail at some of these trends that I'm now about to mention, I invite you to go to the ITC website, where you can access all the previous presentations. During the first module of this program, I would like to focus on 4 key trends, and one what I might call a non-trend, which seem to me are increasingly evident across the developed world, and which inevitably seem to me to arise as workplaces are opened up to the global marketplace. Then, in the second module, I would like to explore how individuals and organisations might effectively respond to these trends. First, to my non-trend, which is best captured by this headline from the Wall Street Journal of 19 November last year, under the headline, "Working Without Workers. In lights-out factories, machines still make things, even when no one is there." The article describes a number of plants in different industries which operate entirely without human intervention. It quotes one factory manager as saying, "The future of manufacturing